The Ice and Fire mod is an exploration mod for Minecraft which adds many mythical creatures, armors, weapons, and structures into your game. I believe it takes some inspiration from the Game of Thrones universe. A lot of the gameplay of this mod is focused around dragons, which can be battled for large amounts of treasure and for rewards. They can also be owned as pets if you're brave enough. In this video, I will be going in depth into every aspect this mod has to offer, including where to find the creatures, how to craft the strongest armors, and how to tame some fantastic pets. Because this mod contains so much content, I will be splitting this video up into 3 parts. This mod has recently been made available on version 1.18 and will hopefully be ported to 1.19 and 1.20 in the near future, with more content currently in development. In this first part, we will be looking at the basics of getting started in the world of Ice and Fire, the passive mobs, some of which are tameable, and also the ores that generate in the mod. So, let's begin. To start with, you can craft yourself a bestiary book, which has information on all the magical creatures you may encounter on your journey. It can be crafted using 3 manuscripts, which can be found in chests within dragon roosts, caves, or graveyards. We'll cover these structures in a later episode, but you can just focus on the manuscripts for now. You can also craft the bestiary lectern using 2 planks and a manuscript, and this will enable you to unlock more pages of the bestiary by opening the lectern and combining the bestiary with the manuscript pages. The chapters of the bestiary that you are allowed to unlock are randomized a little bit similarly to an enchantment table, so you will need to choose which chapter you'd prefer to learn about while unlocking the pages. So, moving on to the ores that generate. Silver is a new ore introduced in this mod which contains magical properties. It generates at the same levels as gold, and it can be used to create tools and armor, and it does extra damage against undead mobs. Copper is one of the newer ores in this mod. It can also be made into armor, tools, and blocks. It's about as good as chainmail, and it's mineable with wooden tools. It is renewable since it drops from Stymphalian birds. As we know, copper was added into vanilla Minecraft recently, and so both the modded and vanilla coppers can both be used interchangeably in crafting recipes. Sapphires are found in ice dragon caves in the form of ore, all around the cave, or also in chests. They are also found in the chests of ice dragon roosts. They are used to craft ice dragon summoning crystals. Amethysts are found in lightning dragon caves in the form of ore, all around the cave or in chests, but also in the chests of lightning dragon roosts. Amethysts are used to craft lightning dragon summoning crystals. Because amethyst was also added into vanilla after this mod was created, the modded and vanilla amethysts can be used interchangeably in crafting recipes. I wanted to take a little moment to talk about snow villages and snow villagers. These mobs and their structures were recently removed from the mod because of the addition of vanilla tundra villages that were added to the game. These villagers were blue and they traded in sapphires as opposed to the usual emeralds that villagers would trade. Okay, so moving on to our first mob and structure of the mod, we have pixies in their pixie villages. Pixies spawn near pixie villages, and these are small villages with tiny mushroom and log hovels that can be found in dark forest biomes. They glow in the dark and emit a colorful dust particle effect. Besides their skin, which is already lightly colored, they come in 5 different colors: pink, purple, blue, green, and yellow. Pixies will drop 0 to 2 pixie dust upon death. They also have a 2.5% chance to drop a pixie wing. With the pixie wings drop, you can combine it with a diamond and a blaze rod and it will grant you a pixie wand. And with this, you can shoot a magic charge that deals 5 damage and makes the target levitate, and it uses pixie dust as its ammunition. Pixies are relatively peaceful and will not attack players in any way, even when they are attacked themselves. However, if a nearby player does not have their crosshair on them, they tend to fly up to them, steal a random stackable item from their inventory, and quickly fly away from them. The stolen item can be retrieved by dealing damage to the pixie. Interacting with a pixie with a jar in your hand will capture her, dropping a jar with the pixie inside. Players can then place this jar, and as soon as the pixie sits down, it will collect pixie dust from her. If the jar is broken, the pixie will be released. Pixies can be befriended with a cake. In order to befriend a pixie, all one has to do is drop a cake near her, and she will eat the treat and become your friend. Befriended pixies will follow the player around constantly and will fly around them when they're not moving. In addition to this, they can be told to sit by interacting with them. Feeding a pixie sugar will heal them, and befriended pixies provide certain positive status effects to the player depending on their color. Pink pixies will apply strength, purple will apply jump boost, blue will apply speed, green will apply luck, and yellow will apply haste. The next passive mob is the hippocampus. Hippocampi are creatures with the body of a horse and the scales, fins, and tail of a fish. They come in 6 different colors. Hippocampi can be found swimming around in the ocean and deep ocean biomes. Upon death, hippocampi will drop 1 to 4 shiny scales, and there's also a 2.5% chance that they will drop 1 hippocampus fin. If you get the hippocampus fin drop, you can combine it with a stick to craft yourself a hippocampus slapper, and this weapon will daze and slow its targets. Hippocampi can be tamed with kelp or with sponges. In order to tame a hippocampus, all one has to do is to use their kelp or sponge to attract it, and then feed it as many kelp as it takes before it finally becomes tamed. Tamed hippocampi can be saddled, they can carry chests, and be equipped with armor. Along with this, a hippocampus with a saddle can be made to either wander or sit by interacting with them while holding a stick. When ridden by a player, a hippocampus can swim faster than both boats and sea serpents. Riding a hippocampus allows a player to breathe underwater. 2 hippocampi can be bred in the same manner as other vanilla animals, in this case right-clicking each hippocampus with a prismarine crystal, which will cause them to breed. It takes 1 day for a baby hippocampus to reach adulthood. Look at this graph! A large amount of you who watch my videos aren't subscribed, so if you do enjoy the video and you want to help me out, please do click that nice red subscribe button down below. It's totally free and you can always unsubscribe later if you want. Hippogriffs are creatures with the body, tail, and back legs of a horse, the head and wings of an eagle, and an eagle's talons as its front feet. They come in 10 different colors, most of which are based on the color patterns of different real-life birds. Hippogriffs often spawn in mountains and in sand biomes, and they will drop 0 to 5 feathers upon death, 0 to 5 pieces of leather upon death, 1 hippogriff egg after being bred with another hippogriff, and they also have a 2.5% chance to drop a hippogriff talon and a 2.5% chance to drop a hippogriff skull. If you obtain the hippogriff talon as a drop, you can combine it with an iron ingot, 2 feathers, and a stick, and it will give you the hippogriff talon sword. And this always slashes its target and it will deal extra damage, and every use of it has a sweeping attack. Hippogriffs are generally neutral and will usually not attack players unless provoked. However, true to their predatory nature, they will target and attack players once they are hungry. As well as this, they will attack farm animals and other passive mobs. When attacking, hippogriffs will usually take a bite out of their prey, which will deal 5 damage with each bite. However, they are also known to rear up to deliver a deadly kick with their powerful talons, inflicting heavy knockback upon their quarry. Hippogriffs can be tamed with rabbit feet. To tame a hippogriff, all one has to do is drop 8 rabbit feet near it, and it will eat the treats and begin to tame by itself. However, if a hippogriff is flying in the air, it is recommended to practice patience and keep track of the hippogriff until it lands. Once it's tamed, it will sit down. Domesticated hippogriffs can be saddled, they can carry chests, and they can be equipped with armor. Along with this, they can be made to wander or sit by interacting with them while holding a stick. 2 hippogriffs can be bred by feeding them rabbit stew, and breeding the 2 hippogriffs will produce an egg. Throwing the egg will hatch it into a baby hippogriff. It takes 1 day for a baby hippogriff to reach adulthood. Amphitheres are large, colorful reptiles that possess the general look of a snake with a serpentine physique, a noticeable lack of walking legs, a moderately long neck, a large head with big, toothy jaws, and a long, tapering tail. However, they also possess many traits derived from tropical birds. They boast massive feathery wings, a crown of feathers adorns the back of their head, their snout ends in a large hooked beak, and their tail ends in a large feathery tail fan. They come in 5 different colors, and they can be found gliding through jungle biomes. Upon death, they will drop 1 to 7 amphitheer feathers, and there's a 2.5% chance they will drop an amphitheer skull. If you combine 2 amphitheer feathers with 2 planks, 4 obsidian, and 1 stick, you can get an amphitheer Macahugatilla. Sorry, I really can't say the name of that properly, but basically this weapon knocks entities up and back and it disables their shields. You can also craft amphitheer arrows, which do apply more knockback, similarly to an amphitheer's wings, if you combine an amphitheer feather in place of a regular feather in the regular arrow recipe. They are neutral and will not attack players unless provoked, and they are relatively skittish, so they will always try to stay away from players, no matter how hard they try to reach them. When attacking, they will take a bite out of their foes, dealing 3.5 hearts of damage. However, they will also rapidly flap their wings in order to create a powerful gust of wind that sends the foe flying. On land, they are fast, but once they are in the air, they are even faster. They will actually protect any villagers they come across, and they will fight off any mob that tries to kill them. Unlike other mobs, taming an amphitheater is a daunting task. First, one must catch up with the amphitheater's quick slithering speed and mount it by interacting with it with an empty hand. If it is found flying, one must knock it out of the sky with a projectile before initiating the chase. Once the amphitheater is mounted, it will repeatedly turn its head over its side to bite its rider in order to tame it. One must survive its bite attacks long enough, or you could also use a shield to nullify any damage while you're on its back. And once you've survived the cluster of attacks from its beak, it will then start to serve its superior, which is you, the rider. Amphitheaters can be bred using cookies, and breeding 2 will produce a baby amphitheater. And that will do it for part 1 of the showcase on the Ice and Fire mod. Next time, we'll be looking at some of the hostile mobs of the mod. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in part 2. Take care.